is okay. Thank you. So today's date is June 10th, 2021. And I am calling to order the meeting of the Board of Trustees, Highline College, and let the minutes reflect that all of our trustees are present on our Zoom for today's meeting. And let me see here. Can I have approval of our minutes of our regular scheduled meeting of May 6th, 2021? Motion?
So moved.
I'll second that motion.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Opposed? All right. Minutes are approved. At this time, I understand we have quite a few folks who had signed up for public comment, and I'd like to ask Danielle, turn it over to Danielle to actually coordinate and call folks in for their comment time.
Thank you, Celie. I think the best way to do this is I would like to go down the list in order of which signups have been submitted. I know that there are a few people who have sent me a request to sign up this morning directly. So I will put the form in the chat one last time for anybody who wants to sign up, and we will keep signups open just for about another minute or so. So the first person we would like to welcome to enter their statement into public comment today is Kendall Evans. Kendall, are you here with us?
I am.
Okay, wonderful. The floor is yours. You have 3 minutes and go ahead.
All right, I'll try to keep this very brief. My name is Kendall Evans. I am a product of Highline. I'm also a veteran. I spent 4 years in the United States Army patrolling the East German, West German, Czechoslovakian border back in the late 80s, just before the fall of the wall. It wasn't until later in life that I decided to get an education. I came here to be a chemical dependency professional, and in the process of doing that, I went on to be part of the first cohort of the BAS in youth development. I get to use that degree here at Highline in the past 6 years as the Veteran Service Office Specialist 3. A great privilege of mine. But I'd like to talk to you about the space that we occupy now. Is very small. It is not accommodating. I often have students sitting on the floor just to have that free space and safe space, which really isn't safe because our vocabulary is different and we're just amongst other professionals that might not be cohesive to hearing that they blew that test up or something and might take it out of context. That being said, COVID, wow. I know it has affected us all, but my students have gone into extensive training in small teams. Never are we ever alone. We work in small teams, and then small teams create larger teams. We have been isolated for over a year now while in transition. I am asking you to find some kind of funding. I know we're in a bind, but these students have taken an oath that does not expire. They have come here to get an education and fulfill that promise that they were made when they entered into the military of an education. Any help that the trustees and the executive staff can provide us would greatly appreciated and go far within the veteran community as saying that we are a veteran-friendly campus. Hopefully I didn't exceed those 3 minutes and was able to convey what I needed to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Kendall. Next on our list today is Gerald Jackson.
Hi, good morning. Can everybody hear me? Okay. I work for Information Technology Services as at the help desk, and I've been here this year. It'll be my 20 years anniversary. And I'm just, today speaking on behalf of all classified staff at Highline College. I know on the agenda today, there was an item about us potentially taking our collective bargaining agreement offsite, where we'll be managing that through or administrating that through OFM versus doing it in-house. And I definitely would like to maintain that in-house. Many reasons. One is because we're talking about the equity and still being a part of this campus community. Is so many classified staff that are here that have been holding down the fort even since the whole COVID-19 thing, but even before that, with our security, facilities, IT, several other groups, administrative staff, etc., that make up the classified staff community that have put a lot of work in. Again, after being here 20 years, it's a lot of things that we've accomplished with Highline College and us as a group, a part of this group, in the Highline community. And we really feel that we would lose by going to OFM, because it's things that we've built together with administration and us as classified staff that we won't be able to get going through OFM. So I just want to share that today. We'd appreciate your support on keeping that administrative role in-house with classified staff. Yeah, that's it. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Gerald. Next today, we have Diane Lonsberry.
Good morning. I'm Diane Lonsberry, Administrative Assistant to the Business Division, and I've been at Highline for 6 years. I'm speaking on the OFM contract management resolution that you're going to vote on. I'd like to talk from this perspective of a classified member. The college does a great lip service talking about equity, inclusion, and transparency, yet once again, another vice president is telling us we're not worth the work or the time it will take to support us and keep this in-house. With our union leaders and stewards work hard to represent and uphold the integrity of our members. Joining the OFM is an easy solution, dumping us in with the other colleges. We will not be seen anymore. And if Highline really means what they say about equity, inclusion, and transparency, you will not vote to approve this resolution. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Diane. Stephanie Ojeda Ponce.
Hi, good morning. I want to speak with classified staff against the resolution to align with OFM negotiation. The work of classified staff is essential to the operation of the college. Further, many of our staff and faculty and Highline employees in general are former Highline students. As we value students and the greater Highline community, it is necessary to listen to and act on behalf of the interests that these groups are communicating clearly what they need from us. If there were to be changes to the employment contract or the operation of the contract, it's essential to include staff and the union in those discussions over a long period of time and to honor those needs and recommendations acting in their interests. Again, honoring and valuing staff requires acting in line with what they clearly communicate their needs are. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Next, I have Lori Spivey Miles.
Hello. My name is Lori Miles Spivey. I am an employee of over 20 years and an administrative assistant to the Arts and Humanities Division, where I've supported anywhere from 65 to 90 a quarter. I'm also a WPA job steward and served on the last 2 contract negotiations and an alternate for a 3rd contract before that. I'm here to say I'm disheartened with the path this college is taking and the possible move of our CBA to OFM for this upcoming biennium and for the future. Moving our contracts to OFM is a mistake. There is a reason a multitude of people are here today. The employer might think this is a win for the college, easing the employer's obligations and burdens, but it's not a win, and questions should be asked about the true cost of the college, the time for the administrators, along with the cost of relations with employees. If the college believes that walking away from the contract bargaining will be easier for them, if there's a bad contract making them not accountable and OFM will be to blame, think again. The college made the choice to go this direction, so they didn't support their employees or fight for them either. For the employee, this is a bigger loss. It removes everything we bargained for, contract language, making conditions better on campus, personal days for loss of pay with furloughs in the past, and other personal days in lieu of disparity. For example, an exempt position accrues 20 hours a month the very first year, whereas a classified employee could be here for 45 years and only accrue 16.66 hours a month. Both employees deserve a vacation, but there is huge disparity. Our contract is mostly language and focusing on fairness, equity, being a part of campus and having a voice. Removing the ability to negotiate with the college takes this away. What does it say to campus when we preach about equity, but we are not practicing what we say? Is equity a consideration for only certain groups of people? We have met with Dr. Mosby multiple times over the years, and he had expressed his want for us to be more visible and a stronger presence on campus. We've been working on that, but then COVID hit, furloughs, a difficult year of contract bargaining with the offer of 24 furlough days, and now we face yet another challenge. Is this a reaction to us overstepping our rights by asking for equity, fairness, respect, and voice? It's the only thing we can ask for in our contract. And so by removing our contract, our only legal binding document, a means to shut up and make things better for staff on campus, I find it ironic today that in one of the reports to the board, it noted that the creation of the new Equity First strategic plan, which is great, but on the other side of the pendulum, WPA members are just learning of how the college is quickly making a change to shuffle them off to OFM, where their future rights and voice will be cut. There is not transparency or notification. Is this equity? Is this supporting your classified staff? Or is this classism at its best? This effort to put your labor relations at a distance seems to counter our own stated values or mission statement. It's not inclusive. OFM's values are different than Highline's, and they do not bring us closer to equity or equality. They create the divide. Keep our contract at Highline. Let us work on repairing issues on campus, not a third party, and save your money to hire more employees to fix the disparity or training where is needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Next, we have Tessa Bowen.
Good morning. My time right now, I am speaking as an employee, not wearing my chief shop steward hat. I am speaking on my behalf, not on the behalf of all members. While this resolution may not immediately change the contract, it absolutely opens the door for our contract to change. While we can have all the promises in the world that it won't, there is no guarantee. This door from this resolution has the great potential to rejoin Highline with the Higher Ed Coalition. There is no guarantee that the benefits that I, as a member, receive from our contract will stay the same. This means the loss of protected, flexible work from home language, as well as the loss of paid time off and the loss of trust with my employer, just to name a few. As someone who lives with several invisible illnesses and disabilities, as a mom to a daughter who lives with several invisible illnesses and disabilities, and as a wife to someone who lives with several invisible illnesses and disabilities, I am entering currently into a contract where I no longer have to stress about what if I have to stay home to take care of them or myself. I have, as does the rest of the classified staff, have protected, flexible work from home language in the contract that will be starting July 1st, 2021. This is something that OFM has adamantly fought against at the Higher Ed Coalition table over the last year. The language that we were able to add, the higher education table was not. The 2 to 3 extra personal days that this contract graciously affords us is not guaranteed to stay if we have to rejoin the coalition. Whether you agree or not that we deserve those days, whether you agree or not that those days are justified to be given to us even with the current budget crisis, I'd like to remind everyone in this room, while you are off on grand vacations, while you are on break between quarters and classes, while you are not required to be at your job in your office, classified staff such as myself are here on campus or here at home, helping this institution to run, while other staff, other faculty are not. We also help this college to run while faculty focus on our students. It is our job to support the executives of the college and the faculty of the college so that our students can be supported. And if we don't get that same support, then who are we and why should we stay and help run the college? I digress. Back to these personal days. These personal days, that's my daughter's 10th birthday. That's a day where I
do apologize, Tessa. We are at the 3-minute mark. If you'd like to submit the rest of your comment in writing, I'd be happy to share it with the trustees. Next on the list, I have Linda Quick.
Hi, my name is Linda Quick. I am the administrative assistant for the Pure and Applied Science Division. Although many years ago, I would not have been an administrative assistant due to the fact that we worked very hard to get column advancement through the efforts of Lori, and I wanted to cite that, Lori. I've been at the college for 45 years. So obviously my tenure has been long serving, and excuse me, my phone went off. I've seen a lot of changes, a lot of transitions. I would certainly support the fact of what Lori, Gerald, Tessa, and all the people that have worked so hard on our union have done for us in advocating keeping our contract in-house at Highline. I will say I haven't been the most active participant in union matters until recently, and I have certainly been enlightened by the fact of how, in my humble opinion, we haven't had the transparency with the college administration as much as I would have liked. Obviously, my tenure at Highline has been supported by the classified staff, and my union with them has kept me at Highline for the amount of years I've been. So in short, I'm just going to suggest that the board truly consider keeping our contract in-house, understand the ramifications of what would be entailed if it goes back to OFM, and give us the opportunity to have our bargaining power, our voice, the transparency, and the equity that every employee in the classified staff realm deserves at this college. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Next, we have Laura Manning.
Hi, friends. Thank you so much. My name is Laura, and I have been a faculty member here for more than 2 decades, and I'm here today to stand with classified staff as well. At our recent Equity Institute, some really amazing things were happening. We were really making moves toward talking about how we can address the inequities on our campus that are faced by staff and by contingent faculty. And one of our keynotes even noted that one of the first things a new EDI officer might do is really start to address amplifying staff voices and staff concerns. We really value the work of our staff here. I mean, as Gerald and Tessa have noted already, we exist because of the work of our dedicated staff in putting students in seats and being sure that they have funds to be academics, in maintaining the digital and physical integrity and safety of our campus. We are nothing without our staff, and our staff deserve respect as professionals. Staff don't have it easy here. We, I think, tend to balance our budgets on the back of staff. I think that those who have less are always asked to give more. And it seems like we're finally ready to really start making some moves to address those kind of inequities. And this proposed move is going in exactly the wrong direction. Local bargaining works to solve local problems. I know that viscerally. I can feel what it would feel like if our faculty union was folded into a larger state one with no input from us, essentially listening our voice, our connection with administration and bargaining. Can that happen? I don't even know. And if not, why not? There's another inequity to talk about, right? So I respectfully request of the board, please reject this resolution. Our staff matter, our staff voices matter. We have a history here of keeping our bargaining local. Keeping our staff negotiations local builds on that history. Michael's email yesterday noted that Dr. Mosby, this is not final. He still wants to have discussions with classified staff. Great, That's how it should be. If we're ever going to vote on this resolution, which I hope actually that you never do, it needs to be after that, not now. This is strange, the way this is happening. It doesn't feel right. It feels like we're inflicting a wound on our morale needlessly. And like Diane and Lori said, if equity is not just a word to us, we won't do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Monica Lamone.
Thank you so much. I also would like to just kind of stand behind the classified staff in this. And I think Laura said that really well too. You know, this feels really fast and not thoughtful and compassionate of what we're clearly hearing. We're hearing this now, and what we've heard from the needs of classified staff. You know, as Tessa said, and Lori mentioned too, and Gerald, you know, I know as an English faculty and as former coordinator of the English department, we really, really collaborate with classified staff. We depend on classified staff to run our school and to support and everything that goes on here. It just cannot be done without classified staff. And I think, you know, having trust and respect built into the workplace, it's really important to run any organization or institution. And this feels sort of like a slap in the face to that trust and respectful relationship with classified staff. And so, you know, we've heard very clearly that some sentiments on this from classified staff. I would love for them to be heard and their voices considered. We've heard that local bargaining works and that there are things that have happened with just classified staff in Highline that would be hard to continue or replicate if that were moved elsewhere. And so I just really support these voices. And I think, you know, I hope that the board, that this kind of goes away or doesn't get a vote, or that it's voted against. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. I want to pause for just a moment because some of our public comment speakers today joined a few minutes after the meeting started. So before we move down the rest of the list, I would just like to give a reminder that every person has up to 3 minutes to speak today. If you go beyond that mark, I will simply hit the mute button, and then you can submit the rest of your comments in writing for board review if you'd like. Moving down the list, we next have Monica Twerk. Monica, are you here? Okay, I'm going to skip Monica and we will come back to her at the end of the list. Amelia Phillips. Okay, Lisa Bernhagen. I believe I did see Lisa sign on.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you to the board for serving. I'm also here to support classified staff. The comments that I've made so far in support of local bargaining have been amazing, so I don't need to take a lot of time. Please keep our classified staff union bargaining local. As many people know, unions are powerful and are often threatened. The classified staff need local solutions for local conditions as they are requesting. We as faculty stand with them. And as everyone has been saying, in a beautifully equitable move on campus, we support that our classified staff keep their bargaining local. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Next, we have Douglas Avella Castro.
Here, thank you so much for having me. My name is Douglas Avella Castro, and I'm here to stand with classified staff in keeping their contract in-house. The mission of Highline College is rooted in promoting equity through education. I think we can all agree that this mission cannot be carried out without working to create equitable conditions, not just for our students, but necessarily for our employees that serve those students. And the ability to collectively and locally bargain with the agency that implements policies and practices that directly impact its employees is central to creating safe, respectful, dignified, and equitable working conditions for those employees bargaining, and for the ability for all employees to bargain for a humanizing workplace. As a faculty union member here at Highline, as a member of the Advisory Board in Social Sciences for the union, I deeply value the indispensable and dedicated service provided by our amazing staff. I also recognize that our staff's ability to continue making Highline one of the best community colleges in the state is tied to their ability to directly bargain to solve local problems as they arise with local management. And the essence of good faith collective bargaining involves mutual accountability where both parties, management and employees, have a direct and mutual interest in creating a respectful, dignified, safe, and equitable working environment. Cutting off our staff's union ability to bargain locally makes it far more difficult to create such an environment, and therefore makes it more difficult to successfully carry out Highline's mission. For these reasons and others, I urge you to keep Highline's staff contract local. We need our staff to feel safe and respected. Our mission depends on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Douglas. Kenna Bristow Winston.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Just to echo other faculty members who are greatly supported by the administrative staff. I've been working at Highline since 2008. I could not do my job without the support of the classified staff. Let's respect them, let's support them, let's keep negotiations local, and let's walk the walk of our equity talk that has been going on for so long. And let's see some actual results of those ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenna. Diego Luna.
Good morning, folks. I'm Diego Luna, faculty here in Ethnic and Gender Studies and Education, and I'll keep it short. We need to keep these bargaining locally. All people are part of our community. We don't push the community away. We keep them close. We have conversations with them. We break bread with them. You can't do that if it's going to an external body. And then I would like to humbly cede the rest of my time to Tessa Bowen.
Tessa, did you want to take Diego's 2 minutes and 30 seconds?
Yes, please. As I was saying, these personal days that we are getting with this contract, if they go away, it causes us to miss those special days. It causes us to miss the important days with our family. If we rejoin the coalition, all of those special days turn back into work days. Please realize that we are human beings. We deserve the same things that everyone else in this room has. And to have that, and to have it so different for different classes of employment and how they are treated differently is one of the most unethical things that you could do as an employer. I beg you not to open this door. I beg you not to think about going to OFM or to rejoin the coalition. We need to keep this local. As everyone has said, local problems require local solutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Tessa, and thank you, Diego. Next, we have Marta Reeves.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Marta Reeves, a 17-year member of WPEA, a former member of the WPEA contract bargaining team for 2017-2019, and the current classified representative on the Campus Budget Advisory Council. I want to thank Michael for sending out the email last night and providing us a copy of the proposed resolution. Although this communication for this transition, I don't believe has been done in a transparent manner or in a timely manner where all of our membership has been able to look at this, review it, and have discussions further with executive cabinet and the president of the college before it coming to this. In the rationale of in the resolution, the rationale for the contract moving says it is to increase the communication and the coordination with OFM on matters related to WPEA. I'd like to know how that increases the communication. It says it'll increase the capacity for CTC link stabilization. How will that increase the capacity? And the broader system of support from HR professionals at OFM who specialize in labor relations, who will scaffold the college's current efforts to accurately interpret and apply the terms of collective bargaining. It is my understanding that currently OFM is available for consultation if asked during any bargaining sessions. So I would like to have some answers to really the rationale put forth in this resolution. Also, I'd like to state that during our Budget Advisory Council meetings, when the institutional budget planning priorities were proposed to us, several of us asked, where is the human resources, human aspect stated as a priority for these budget planning priorities? Your budget planning priorities this year talks about preparation for returning to face-to-face on-campus operations, stabilization of CTC link, strategic and equity.
Thank you, Marta. We are at the 3-minute mark. However, if you'd like to submit the rest of your comments in writing, I'd be happy to share them with the board and enter them into the minutes. Next, we have Gayatri Sirohi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gayatri Sirohi, Division Chair for the Arts and Humanities Division, teacher in the English department. The division cannot work without our administrative staff. It's just an impossibility. I can't even conceive of it. And it is mind-boggling that their voices aren't being heard as much as they should be. Laurie, Linda, all of you, Tessa, I can't even begin to start listing. Everyone here has made a point of pointing out that Highline College has had a local bargaining history. It solves our local problems. I want really, really, very from the bottom of my heart to sincerely support this idea, and I urge you to think twice before rejecting this idea. Thank you, and I do give my time back to Marta.
Marta, would you like the last minute or 2 minutes and 30 seconds?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. So I ask you to look at these questions and ask, is the rationale supported in this resolution? Michael stated in the campus budget forum that the cost of the OFM to administer this contract would be $18,000. I'd like to know, is this annually or is this for the contract cycle? Wouldn't it be better use of $18,000 to be used to offset projected expenses, especially considering administration is seeking $1 million from Board of Trustee reserve to balance the budget next year? Or wouldn't it be better to hire one of the proposed 1,000-hour employees being requested in the new employee requests? Considering last year, one of the decisions made was to eliminate 1,000-hour positions and student employment positions in the funding for the budget. Those are not being reestablished. I'd also like to know why the faculty contract can be negotiated locally, but the college feels a need that they need to have the classified contract administered by OFM. I do not see the equity and inclusion in these in this action. I also want to highlight the success of some former classified members. One of them is Vice President Aaron Reeder, a former classified staff member who has successfully gone on and now has become our Vice President of Student Services. I'd also like to highlight the success of Thomas Bowie, former classified member and one of our former stewards. He is the director for the Center for Leadership and Service. I currently would not be holding the position I have as program manager in the Center for Leadership and Service if it wasn't for the local bargaining here at Highline, which allows people to apply for positions.
Thank you, Marta. We are at the 3-minute mark. I would like to pass it over to New Lee.
Yes, hi, my name is Nu Lee, and I'm the Associate Director for Workforce Education Services. Here, I'm going to make it really short. I'm going to put my support in the chat. I'm just simply here to support the bargaining contract to remain at Highline and not over to the Office of Financial Management. And I believe that this bargaining contract has already been working. Let's keep it consistent and keep it in-house to better support all of our classified staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Nu. Lastly, I have a written submission from faculty member Prairie Brown that was unable to be here today. I will read this statement into public record. To the Board of Trustees, I'm writing today to voice concern about an issue that has recently come to my attention, the proposal to return the contracts and contract negotiations for classified staff to OFM. In these challenging times when we have relied on our classified staff more than ever, I am worried that this change would increase the equity gap between classified staff and other employees of the college. It is critical that classified staff retain the contract language that they worked so hard to negotiate. Moving them to the higher education CBA would be disheartening and disrespectful to these valuable members of our community whose unique needs and contributions are not fully recognized within the larger higher education CBA. They deserve the right to bargain directly with the college through their elected WPEA representatives, not through a third party like OFM. As a member of the faculty, I know how heavily I depend on our classified staff. The Arts and Humanities Administrative Assistant, Lori Spivey, is the first person I turn to whenever I have questions about campus policies, procedures, resources, facility use, and a myriad of other issues. She always knows the answer to any Highline-related question I ask her. Our classified staff have earned every line of the hard-won benefits specified in their newly negotiated contract, particularly with regard to personal days and paid time off. I hope that the WPEA will continue to be allowed to continue to negotiate classified contracts directly with the college. Thank you for your time and consideration of this matter. That concludes today's open public comment session, and I will pass the microphone back over to Chair Savusa.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Danielle, and thank you to everyone for taking time on your busy schedules to come and speak today and share your voice at our board meeting today. Thank you again. So, Michael, do we have correspondence at this time?
No correspondence.
All right. So with that, we will move right into standing reports. And I think I saw Jermaine, Associated Students of Highline College. Jermaine, are you here?
Yeah.
There you go.
So hello, everybody. My name is Charmaine Santos. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I am the ASHC Student Government President. First, I wanted to speak as a student, and I wanted to say that the voices of all of the classified staff are valid and super important. These staff are such an important part of the student experience at Highline. And as a student that advocates for equity, I want to emphasize the values that they bring to this college and that I stand with them. More specifically, Betty and Marta, who are super important roles that with ASHC and student leadership positions. They are just like, I would not have been able to do my job or carry out the things that I was able to during my term without the support of Marta and Betty. And I just wanted to say that this college would not be able to run without the classified staff, and they should be treated with equity and respect and have the ability to bargain locally. And it is important that these staff members are heard. And thank you for that. Now I'm going to switch on to my regular ASHC updates. So this being my last meeting, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody on behalf of the ASHC team. We really wanted to thank you guys for your support this year. And I always love coming in and hearing what you guys have to say about what the student body and leaders are doing every month. I also wanted to say thank you for reviewing the SNA budget. The SNA Budget Committee worked really hard on all of the decisions that were made for next year's budget. So I just wanted to say thank you for reviewing it. And my next update is about the ASHC elections. Unfortunately, throughout the year, we have had a struggle in getting engagement with the students, being in an online environment. So I'm happy to say that we did fill 2 of our positions, but sadly, the president position, we were unable to find a candidate. So our plan is to hold a special election in the fall, but we were able to get a vice president, Anita, and the Speaker of Caucus, Maya Leonhard, and Anita Wambu. They were the positions that are going to be filled next year. And I just wanted to say that they are great students. They worked at CORE, and I love them. I love the input that they bring, and they are great student leaders. And since I am graduating from Highline and will be stepping down from my position, I wanted to tell you guys my next steps or what I'm planning on doing in the future. So I got into UW, and I'm planning on majoring in political science. And during the summer, I think that I'm going to take a break from my community engagement, so I won't be super engaged in the community, just to take a break for myself. But in the fall, I am planning on continuing my involvement in the community through the various organizations I put on hold for this position. And then that's everything. Thank you.
All right. Jarmaine, congratulations. You're another fearless leader that'll go out and do big things in the world. So thank you again for all your work and for making us a better college. So next, WPEA, Tessa.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
First and foremost, I just want to thank everybody so much for their support. My heart is full. I feel the support deep in my bones. And there have been many days where I have felt like family at Highline, and today is definitely one of those days. Reading straight from Highline's website, collaboration. We value teamwork, joint responsibility, and ownership. How does handing our contract over to OFM foster this for the classified staff? Integrity. We believe in honest and trustworthiness in all of our college practices. How has this past week of communication with the membership about this, handing our contract over to OFM, foster and uphold this value? Core theme 3, build valuable relationships and establish a meaningful presence within Highline's communities. And again, I ask, how does handing our contract to OFM uphold this core theme? Do you know what OFM values are? What their mission statement is? Because I don't. I looked at their About Us section and there are no values there. So does Highline expect OFM to hold up the above listed values? Because there's no proof that OFM knows how or wants to do that. Who is going to hold OFM accountable for the treatment of classified staff the way that everyone at Highline in the executive cabinet claims they want classified staff to be treated? As this week has proven, working with OFM takes away the trust that classified staff has for Highline management. What OFM believes is direct dealing is what we have come to call transparency over the last year. Here's the thing with transparency though. Transparency is not just showing all of your cards when you're obligated to. Transparency is showing all of your cards even when you don't have to. Highline's history of transparency over this last year has been pretty opaque, and OFM is under zero obligation to be transparent at all with us. Working with Highline one-on-one for the last 10 to 11 years has given Highline classified staff the benefit of independence and diplomacy in our workspaces. It has allowed us to have human conversations to resolve things one-on-one versus via a grievance process. It has allowed us the freedom to be able to go to our management team when there is a need to, rather than following a set, strict schedule of meetings. Move to OFM and there will be regular twice a month to twice a quarter LMCC meetings. They are more strict on their deadlines and have way less human interaction conversations. Lastly, there's this idea that has been brought up that HR's focus needs to be moved to something other than labor relations. I would like to point out that labor relations is one of human resources' main responsibilities. Benefits, payroll, labor relations, hiring, training, and business practices is what is read in the description under what is expected of the executive director of HR. Why is it fair then to push that responsibility to someone else? If it's a matter of knowledge and familiarity, why not find training and learn more? If I had a responsibility in my job that I didn't know how to do, I would be required to find out how to do it, to be taught how to do it. I would not be allowed to send that responsibility to a third party. If it were possible for the college to be sending the faculty union to a third-party negotiator, would you? If the answer is no, then where is the equity in moving the classified union to OFM? I beg the board to realize the harm in allowing OFM to take over our contract and ask that you vote no on resolution number 1692021. There are no other updates from classified staff union at this time.
All right. Thank you, Tessa. Next, we have HCEA. James. Mr. Payton.
Good morning. Thanks for the opportunity to speak today. HCEA's report is really focused on the issue that the WPA is bringing up. I think I want to kind of stand with the Highline College staff in this case. We know as faculty, we know that Highline College staff are essential to everything that we do for students and the community. And especially at a time when we need every ounce of dedication and creativity to meet our enrollment challenges. We have to make sure that we're treating the college staff with respect as professionals and keeping those conversations and that bargaining local means that we can do that better, that we can actually make sure that that professional respect and that dedication and that creativity is really recognized and leveraged to meet the local needs that we have. And I think that we really have seen that Highline College has a positive history of bargaining locally with staff. And from a union standpoint, we don't see that the reasons presented for moving the management of the WPEA contract to OFM would actually line up with the stated reasons for doing that. So, faculty rely on staff. We rely on everybody else on campus to be able to do their work so we can do our work. And we all need to be focused on students. And so I guess I would just urge you to keep the Highline College staff contract local. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Next, Faculty Senate. I think I saw Sam.
Hello, everyone. This is James was really short this time. Anyways, thank you for giving the opportunity to speak. I'd also like to personally like to state my support to our local staff and keeping the local bargaining within the college. The college would not be where it is now without the dedication of those staff members. Coming to the Faculty Senate, this is, as you may know, this is my last time representing the Faculty Senate at the Board of Trustees. So I'm going to highlight some of the things we've been doing lately. So the elections, the faculty had focused on making the transition with the new Faculty Senate Executive Board and members smoother and following the proper procedures. And we have done so really well this time around. The entire executive staff worked together individually to explain the benefits of serving on the executive staff to potential colleagues. The team led by my colleague Sangeeta Sangha, we were successful to have a great new executive team to serve for 2021-2002. My friend Stephanie Jeta Ponce, she will serve to 21-23. Lydia Gara will also serve the same term. My friend Jack Harton will continue as a secretary till 2022. The new senator at large, Teresa Pan, she will serve till 2023. And Sangeeta, she will finish her term at the end of next year. The team also led by Sangeeta to successfully send the nominations throughout the college, and we're able to have two representatives from each division to serve for 2021 and 22. We're very happy with that. The constitutions, I have mentioned that before. We had a subcommittee that led by Jack Harton and Sangeeta as well. They had done much research to talk a lot of stakeholders to amend the existing constitution. The subcommittee worked tirelessly for almost 6 months to come up with the changes to the Senate. That we had dedicated the last three general meetings, Faculty Senate general meeting, to discuss the changes. We had numerous debates. We had very constructive arguments. However, yes, last week, the Kieran Senate has agreed to the new revision of the Constitution, but we did not have an official vote because we're allowing the new Senate next academic year to go over the changes and vote on it. Transitions, we met with the new Executive Faculty Senate yesterday. We thought it was a very important meeting to have. We tried to pass the baton to them. We answer questions. We created a booklet with job duties for the Faculty Senate executive staff members, what we do as a chair, as a vice chair, and also secretary and member at large. When I took over the Faculty Senate chair a couple of years ago, I really learned on the job. I'd had guidance. Kate Woods helped me quite a bit, so Stephanie, but there was a lot of things I did not know. So we created that booklet to help the new incoming, not just the executive staff, also the regular senators, to what to expect, what to do, and what their involvement is. We also learned from program discipline review process from Aaron and Chana, Aaron Molig and Chana Freeman. And I want to end my stint to have an office hour in 3 minutes. Thank you for the 2 wonderful years that the faculty and executive staff. I wouldn't think after 28 years of higher education, I would learn something new. I have gained so much knowledge and been at this position. I worked greatly with Dr. Lander and Dr. Mosby, and also had the great pleasure to work with Aaron and Josh, and also, of course, my friend Michael. I had a great deal of opportunity to work with them and gain a lot of knowledge from them as well. I had a great support from my current executive staff and also from the staff member at large. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of your team.
Thank you, Sam. Next, we have Highline Foundation, and I think Dr. Ross. Or Josh.
Yeah, Trustee Savusa, Terrell was with us. He had an 11 o'clock appointment at the University of Washington. So I'm just checking to see.
I'm still here, Josh.
Oh, okay. Hey, it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Terrell Ross, one of our outstanding Highline College Foundation board members, to give you the Highline College Foundation report.
Hi, everybody. I sure picked the right meeting to come to, didn't I? It's been so interesting to see so many of the people that I've worked with. And just so you know a little bit about myself, I used to work at Highline in the late 90s and really consider it one of the best places that I've worked. It's very interesting that about a month or 2 ago, we actually got a lot of our people back together on Zoom, and it was wonderful. So it really is a special place. I guess the most important thing I can say is that I work in DEI, and I've been doing it before it was called DEI. And so, last week I announced that I'm leaving the University of Washington to complete my first book, which is called The Rise of the Others and the Quest for Power. I have been on the foundation board for a little over 2 years, 2 to 3 years. And it's been very exciting to see where we were then and where we're at now. First thing I want to say is just thank all of you, many of you who were here on the Zoom call, for supporting the gala. And I think hopefully you all know that it grossed over $100,000. And so much of that money went in support of students. And the year earlier, we actually did some fundraising for students during the beginning of the COVID period. So I'm very excited to be working on stuff like that. And we have a wonderful board. I know that Dan is going to be leaving our board shortly. And so Dan, I want to thank you for that and what you've done. And the board is going to have our planning retreat in June. And it's so cool because last year we had a retreat and we literally have done just about everything that we said we're going to do. And then the final thing that I'll say is we are establishing something called community conversations. And the whole idea is to bring all of the cities that surround Highline together on a quarterly basis to talk about issues that are regional issues. And we see Highline as a convener. We think that Highline has a very good reputation, and we think that the timing is right for that. And we hope to have the first one either late this summer or early in the fall. So I will stop there, and I'm going to go to my other meeting. Thank you all. Bye.
Thanks, Terrell.
Thank you, Terrell. All right. Now we're at the action items for our meeting today. And we'll move right in. Can I have a motion on action item A on student services?
Sure, Savisa, I move that we approve for the approval of the Student Services and Activities 2021-2022 budget.
All right, do I have a second? Anybody?
I'll second that motion.
All right. All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? All right. Action item is approved. All right, action item B.
Chair Savusa, I'd like to move resolution 167-2021 pertaining to authorization to expand funds. Whereas the new fiscal year will begin July 1, 2021, and whereas a final determination of the budget may not be made prior to the date of October 31st, 2021, and whereas students have enrolled for summer session that will begin on June 28th, 2021, and whereas the disruption of planned and scheduled activities could seriously hamper the college's operations for the 2021 to 2022 college year, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees authorizes the president of Highline College and designees to expend funds beginning July 1st, 2021 to meet college needs at the same rate as in the 2020 to 2021 approved budget, or as additionally authorized by legislative action to take effect on July 1, 2021. This authorization expires October 31st, 2020. I'm sorry, is that a typo? I'd like some clarification at the end. This authorization expires October 31st, 2020, or upon the date that the board passes the motion to adopt the final budget for the 2021-22 for 2021-22 if the board actions on the budget proceed October 31st of 2021. And can I ask for clarification just on that October date?
That is a typo in the year, Sharmila.
Okay, thank you. So that should read, this authorization expires October 31st, 2021.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seeley, I believe we had a request for discussion before we move.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. All right. All right, move to discussion.
Yeah, I wanted to make a quick comment about this SNA budget. The students did a great job once again putting together a very thoughtful budget that was difficult during a period of virtual and remote learning. As far as just keeping the doors open at Highline College, this continuing resolution is just part of the regular business so that the college can continue to expend funds until we as a board approve the final budget. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Trustee Altman. So do I have a second on action item number B?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, resolution is moved and approved. All right, action item number C, may I have a motion?
Chair Savusa, Highline Community College, Highline College District 9, Resolution 168-2021, pertaining to International Student Programs Contract. Whereas Highline College District 9 is committed to continuing its contractual for its International Students Program as approved by the Board of Trustees through Resolution 83-2009, pertaining to International Student Programs Contract on June 11th, 2009. And whereas the college is committed to achieving an international integrated educational environment, and whereas the college continues to attract international students to our institution, and whereas state law and the policies and procedures of the State Board of Community and Technical College permit the establishment of contractual instructional programs for international students, and whereas the college complies with the SBTC's revised policies and procedures for such programs, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees at Highline College, the college should continue to provide classes or programs for international students with shared funding from the cooperating agency or organization as authorized by RCW 28B.50.140.32020. Section 1.2, the College will reaffirm the contract with the Highline College Foundation to continue our program for international students.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right. The item is approved. All right. Do I have a motion for action item number D?
Chair Sabusa, I move approval of the college to file CR-103P, enacting permanent rule changes to the Highline College Title 9 and Student Code of Conduct policies. Submission of the CR-103P to the Washington State Code Reviser to enact permanent rule changes to the Highline College's Title 9 policy and procedures, WAC 132130010 and WAC 132130020, and the model supplemental Title 9 student contract procedures, WAC 13211255515, WAC 13211255525, WAC 13211255535, WAC 13211255545, WAC 2112555, WAC 13211255565, WAC 132125575 as approved via previous emergency rule changes by Highline College Board of Trustees on November 12, 2020, and renewed on March 17, 2021.
Whew. All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
All right. Opposed? Hearing none, the motion is approved. All right. Moving on to action item E. Can I have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chair. So, having given due consideration to the recommendations of the Tenure Review Committee, the Vice President of Academic Affairs, Emily Lardner, and the recommendation of Acting President Michael Pham, I move that probation be continued for the following second-year probationer, Rhonda Durano from nursing, and that tenure be granted to the following third-year probationers, Christine Couch of nursing and Ikran Ismail of education.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Congratulations to those faculty members.
Yes.
Madam Chair, Ikran is in the room, and I'm the chair for Tenure Working Committee, Jody White. If you want to recognize her, I don't think Christine Couch is here.
Ikra's in the room, you said? Oh.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I want to thank my chair and I want to thank the working committee for all their hard work and just giving me the support that I need. And so I'm super thankful for this opportunity.
That's
well
awesome.
deserved.
Absolutely. Yep. I'll clap. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you. Congratulations to all. Moving on to action item F. Do I have a motion?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that the board elects the following slate of committee members for Highline College for 2021-2022. ACT Representative Sealy Savusa, ACT Legislative Representative Sharmila Swenson, HC Foundation Representative Joe Bowman, and to the Finance Committee, Dan Altmeyer and Fred Mendoza.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
Oh,
approved, but can we have some discussion on this? Or can we open the door
Excuse
for
me.
discussion?
All right.
Should always.
Yes.
Oh, discussion? Discussion at this time. Oh. I just saw something. So how do we do this? Do we just go ahead and put the I'm looking for advice from counselor or from my colleagues.
So just wait, just ask for discussion or comments after the second is made.
Okay.
Then when you hear none, call for the question. Or if you hear none, call for the question.
All right. Discussion? Discussion? Hearing none, I call for the question. On the act. Come on, are you guys the attorneys?
All those in favor, say aye.
All those in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed.
Well done.
All right, action on move. You guys owe me for that one. All right. Next we have I need a motion for action item G.
Madam Chair, this is Resolution 169-2021 pertaining to the administration of the WPEA HC 2021 through 2023 collective bargaining agreement by OFM. We're asking to move to approve Resolution 169-2021, in which Highline College will enter into a contract with OFM for the management and administration of our local Highline College WPEA collective bargaining agreement. Rationale for this contract include increased communication and coordination with OFM on matters related to the WPEA, increased capacity for CTC link administration and stabilization, and broader system of support from human resources professionals at OFM who specialize in labor relations, who will scaffold the college's current efforts to accurately interpret and apply terms of the collective bargaining agreement.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a comment.
Okay.
After listening to many of the allies and WPEA members make comment this morning, I do want to clarify, because there seems to be some disinformation or confusion regarding what this motion does. This motion does not take away any type of collective bargaining. It does not change the terms of the contract that were bargained for 2021 through 2023. What this does is turns over the administration of the contract to OFM, where they will abide by the agreement of the collective bargaining agreement that was made in good faith by WPEA and the college. And so I just want to make sure that for everybody who is confused and making comment to say, keep the CBA local, we are not taking any action on that at this time.
I would like to second that comment, Madam Chair, and suggest to the board that that recognizing the long, productive history of local bargaining with the WPEA here at Highline College and the relationship that we have built over the many, many years that local bargaining has existed, we don't take this decision lightly. And as Dan said, this decision is one for management and administration of the current contract. I would encourage the board and staff to think hard and long about whether future negotiations with the WPEA should be moved from the local level to the state level. Having said that, I accept the rationale for this resolution. I don't think it's the only rationale, but it is the rationale that's stated here. We will learn a lot from OFM's administration of this contract about contract administration and how they administer our contract. It is our contract, not theirs. And that information will inform the decision that Dr. Mosby and staff will have to make over the next 2 to 3 years on whether to cede our negotiating responsibilities to the state. Thank you.
I'd also like to add, and I appreciate the clarification of the decision today by trustees Altmeyer and trustee Mendoza. As many have mentioned, we have a valued history of having a very positive relationship with staff, and I can understand why there's concern about potential change. Again, I appreciate the clarification during the meeting here as well. And regardless of whether or not we are in the coalition down the line, as we start to consider that, I think we should always be striving to maintain a respectful, positive, and personal relationship with our WPEA members, and one that values your work and the contributions that you bring, as well as that of the executive team. So we understand that change is very difficult. And I do trust the intentions of our executive team to honor and keep those provisions that are important. And I know that that will be a continued focus of the board and leadership as the leadership of the college continues to consider this decision over the long term. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Or as Joe is. All right. Second call question.
All right.
So call the question. Nope.
All in favor?
All in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Against. Hearing none, the item is moved. Action item number H. Can I have a motion?
H, yes. Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that we approve rescheduling our July 8, 2021 regular board meeting from July 8th to August 26, 2021.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Discussion?
It's
All right. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? All right. Hearing none. The action item is approved. All right. Thank you all so much for that. Getting me through that part. That was a lot of action items. All right, we'll move to area reports. First, we have Vice President Michael Pham.
Good morning, trustees. Good morning, everyone. As Vice President for Administration, I would like to let my written report stand as submitted with no further comments. I will reserve my speaking time for my other head of acting president's remarks instead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Next, we have Academic Affairs. Emily.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a few things I'd like to add to my report. First, we're very excited that we have been able to hire a new Dean for Academic Pathways and Partnerships, Maribel Torres Jimenez. She is currently a tenured faculty counselor at Yakima Valley College. She will join our team on September 1st, and I'm looking forward to introducing her to all of you at a September meeting. Related to that, Reagan Copeland, who is the longest serving interim dean, we believe, in Highline College's history. Reagan is stepping down from her, must have felt to her like permanent interim dean position in later this month to go back to her tenured faculty position in business. And there is absolutely no way to say thank you enough to Reagan for serving as the stabilizing force in the academic leadership team as we've had lots of transitions. To add to that, she's served as the pillar lead for academic affairs in the CTC link transition. So I suspect she's very much looking forward to getting back to her students, but we would not be functional. I wouldn't be functional without Reagan's support and responsiveness really all hours of the day. So I just big thank you to Reagan, who's also agreed to stay on as our CTC link consultant for the next year, just in case we have any questions. Perhaps we won't, but perhaps we will. I'd also like to express my appreciation for very successful negotiations with our union, faculty union, around the allocation of our guided pathways funds. One of the things we learned this year was that it's a big sprawly project and we need focused leadership. All of us have struggled with adding the guided pathways work to our full plates. This is true for every staff and faculty member who's been involved. So with support from the union, we've been able to create 2 interim associate dean positions for guided pathways. Shauna Freeman, a tenured business faculty who led the assessment committee last year, the program review process, a pilot revision of that process to focus on racial equity, partnered with Mariela Barrega on a Canvas module on holistic campus supports. She'll be stepping into a role as interim associate dean for student learning and success. And Liz Word, who was part of the team that started back in 2019 to revise Highline's pathways and programs, got feedback from high school counselors about how we talked about it, led the program mapping work this year, helped develop the college success course this year. She will be serving as an interim associate dean for guided pathways. That allows, they keep their tenured faculty status, but they serve in these administrative leadership roles, and that allows other administrators to go back to focusing on their regular duties. And then the last thing I'd like to celebrate is the Associated Students of Highline College willingness to partner with academic affairs. We've just conducted several focus groups with students to give us feedback on the inclusive syllabus template that everyone is using student feedback and faculty feedback. We'll make changes to that, but we really appreciate students' willingness to partner with us on creating better learning opportunities for students. That's it.
Thank you, Emily. All right, student services, Aaron.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In addition to my area report, I would like to just take a moment to focus on our commencement committee and their preparation for graduation and commencement just a week away, scheduled for the 17th between 11 and 4:30. As of the 7th, we've had 1,800 plus graduation applications. 480 plus students have opted into the virtual ceremony. 320 graduates have already RSVP'd for our new Crossing the Stage event. And just a huge shout out to the entire campus for folks who have played critical roles for each of those graduates and students to get to this point in their educational journey here at the college, especially knowing the challenging times that our students have gone through in the last year and a half and beyond. And then not two, but some exciting elements to commencement is one I want to remind folks is the celebratory faculty and staff car tunnel, which was a really great opportunity that we did last year to try to emulate what that wonderful experience is like in person when faculty and staff create that tunnel experience for students. The crossing the stage moment, our students will be able to bring up to 2 guests to be a part of that moment. And we have some exciting student celebratory items. Students will have the opportunity to take some photographs, get Highline logo socks. As you all know, the yard signs look amazing and students will be able to pick those up and place those in their yards. The bookstore will be tabling to provide some Highline additional swag. We will also have COVID-19 vaccine pop-up. So for our students that are interested in getting vaccines and do not have the access or been able to up to this point, that will be an option. And we're just really excited to celebrate our students. This is one of the moments I think for the entire college at the end of the year that we look forward to. And I just want to use this space to honor the commencement planning committee for all this hard work. Again, everyone from the college that has played a role in each of these students' journey, and there are still opportunities to volunteer. I would extend an invitation to everyone on this meeting to consider either participating in the tunnel or also finding ways to volunteer with the program more directly. I will place in the chat the volunteer link, and look forward to seeing folks next week. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Aaron. Exciting times next week. All right. Institutional advancement.
Yes. Good morning, Chair Savusa and trustees. I have 3 items I'd like to add following up on our written report. The first is we're really excited to again formally announce our distinguished alumnus for 2021. His name is Dr. Tom Jackson Jr. He's the president of Humboldt State University in California. He's the first African-American president of Humboldt State University. And don't get the words Humboldt and Humboldt confused, but he has shared in his message to Highline College how humbled he is to be our distinguished alumnus. He shared a video with us that we'll share during the luncheon, in which he talks about his experiences at Highline and how much that has shaped him throughout his education, and as he is an educational leader, what those values instilled in him here have carried forward in what he does for the community he serves. So we're excited to be able to share that video during the awards luncheon today following this meeting. I also want to thank Tanisha Williams for coordinating that distinguished alumni process and also for facilitating the foundation scholarship process. Tanisha is a valuable member of the institutional advancement team and deeply appreciate her work. And I just wanted to make 2 other recognitions. We just heard Vice President Reeder talk about those wonderful commencement signs that graduates will get. And those were in part designed by Kelly Wong and on our graphics team and produced by a support from our print shop and Dave Weber. And Dave Weber and the print shop have done another amazing thing, which has helped produce this year's Arcturus, which I'm holding up. There's a launch party today at 3 o'clock that everybody's invited to. That's done by Susan Rich, but I just want to call out Dave Weber and the print shop for the amazing work they do in support of projects like this, in support of our campus in general. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is that the success of this year's Yale conference, which was done virtually over a series of weeks, and the excellent team that put that together and the programming, which also included the white identified young women advocates for change, which was a new aspect of programming this year to join in the important work of Yale and the summit team. So thank you for everybody for their great work. I apologize for the puppy behind me, but she's excited about all the great stuff at Highline as well.
Thank you, Josh. Yes, she sounds very excited for commencement. So let's see. All right, moving on to acting president's remarks. Vice President Pham.
Thank you, Chair Savusa. First of all, I just really want to take a minute to reflect on all that we have heard today earlier in our meeting. I would really like to thank you, the many classified staff and faculty who had spoken earlier in support of all of our classified staff. As this meeting had been is being recorded, Dr. Mosby will be reviewing all of the comments and we'll continue the conversation with our classified staff on the topic of whether to rejoin the coalition bargaining in 2020. As I believe this is my only first and my last acting president's report to the board, I would like to say thank you very much to all of the trustees for your support of, first of all, I guess having the confidence in me for I guess it's going to be almost 2 months by the time Dr. Mosby comes back in on June 28th. So thank you for your support of Highline College and our students. Definitely on behalf of Dr. John Mosby, I would also like to express my, I guess, sincere appreciation and gratitude to all of the Highline College employees for their really outstanding efforts in this past year under very, very difficult and challenging circumstances as we navigate, manage, and deal with the pandemic. But I'm optimistic that we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and as the pandemic drawing to an end. And I'm looking forward to our returning to the campus beginning this summer. Also, congratulations to our tenure faculty, Christine Couch and Ikran Ismail, as well as Rhonda. And definitely congratulations to all of our student graduates, the class of 2021, as Aaron, Josh, and others have mentioned. Our commencement will be on next Thursday, June 17th, and we'll have a very special event on campus with the drive-through pickup of the diplomas, and definitely extend an invitation to the board or any of the trustees who may have the time and be able to come on campus and to give out the diploma in Building 8. Lastly, definitely thank you to all of my colleagues on executive cabinet. Thank you for placing your belief in me and in this last month, maybe 2 months coming up as acting president. Thank you for all of your support. And I guess lastly, Josh mentioned we will have our service awards luncheon coming up in about 30 minutes. And also would like to extend the invitations to the trustees for if you have the time to join us, as there will be a special recognitions of Dr. Tom Jackson Jr., president of Humboldt State University, and as our distinguished alumni of the year. And as a bonus, in the celebration, we'll be crowning our winners of the Highline College. Earlier, I thought there was going to be one winner of our haiku contest, but apparently there are multiple winners. So that is a special treat. With that, I would like to end my acting president's remark. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you for holding on the fort. Your leadership is very It's very important. It doesn't stop. So I really want to tell you on behalf of all of my colleagues on the Board of Trustees, thank you for keeping us going. And we really admire your commitment to not only the students, but to what we hold as valuable to our campus and college. Thank you again. All right, at this time, do we have any unscheduled business, Danielle?
No, I believe we're good.
Okay, all right. All right, so just thank you for all the information. I'm sure the information is going out to all the trustees about next week festivities. Congratulations again. I want to reiterate my congratulations to all folks who are on tenure that were lifted up in our meetings today, and to all the thank you for all the folks who really gave compassionate testimony to the work and to what you do. Thank you. So at this time, I am calling our meeting. I will adjourn our meeting for today. Thank you all.